All right, this is going to be a total body kettlebell workout, really stressing the foundational movements, and it's a very short, efficient, great workout that you can kind of tailor to kind of suit your needs. So I'll get into that specifically. Really quickly though, if you guys are new to the channel, please like and subscribe to this information. If you guys like daily workouts, mostly daily workouts, I get at least about 5 workouts in a week to kind of share with you guys. Please subscribe to the channel. I'll also link down below some links of some quality kettlebells that I think are pretty good that you can get on Amazon, along with the corresponding weights. So I said this before in previous videos, but if you're a guy, I'd recommend, an average build, I'd recommend always kind of starting and practicing with a kettlebell of 35 pounds. If you're a female, I always think 25 pounds is a sweet spot, and that's because if it's too light, you really can't get the benefits of kind of using the inertia and momentum of the kettlebell. And if it's too heavy, obviously that's going to be a problem too. But for guys, 35 pounds is a nice sweet spot. I've had this kettlebell for many years. So it's something that I've really this is a staple I've always kind of gone back to. So with that being said, right now, basically, this is what these foundational movements really kind of set the stage for progressive movements that you'll see later on. So there's nothing incredibly complex, but with that being said, sometimes people have a lot of problems pretty much getting around these basics, or they have some confusion or some little exercise techniques that people don't consider. So what I did was, I purposely made these exercises in this order where they're progressing in this type of stage. If you went to any kind of like kettlebell certification, like I used to go to some of those back in the day years ago when they were really popular on the scene. They always kind of taught you in this progressive fashion that it was kind of important to get these fundamentals down. So I will talk about them briefly. Maybe it makes sense to make a separate video about that. Otherwise, if you just want to just watch the workout, you can watch the workout. But what's great about this workout too is this was kind of like my off day. And this workout can be done in a number of different ways. You can go, really fast and make it more of a cardiovascular aspect. You can kind of go slow and controlled, work on just kind of getting some movement patterns down, or kind of moderate. So this took me, you can see the run time here without my actual rest periods was 16 minutes. Without the rest periods, you could probably go a little bit faster, you could go slower, so it's up to you. So this is a good workout just if you want to get in some exercise or movement in the day and you want to just get something in. This to me is a perfect sequence to do it. In fact, when I used to have my first kid was born and I had to watch him like when he was napping and stuff, I would do this outside, just like in a little square foot area just outside of his room, because I had to keep watching him. I had to be quiet. And point is, you can get a lot done in a short period of time. That's a little time space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this set wear out. If you guys are interested in more of the technique stuff with these exercises, I'm going to chime back in very shortly once I kind of start with the swings again, and I'll kind of talk my way through kind of some important things to consider when we do these exercises. All right, this is the foundational movement. So I'm trying to do this really quickly, and I'll get to it again if we miss out in time. But basically, kettlebell should stay as close to your body as possible. You're hinging in the hips. You're not squatting and raising with your arms. And you're using the momentum of snapping your hips, squeezing your glutes. That's actually bringing the kettlebell up. It's important that you keep your shoulder blades tucked, though, that you're not keeling over and letting the weight kind of pull your shoulder blades out a little bit. So I'm not saying this will feel totally easy, but you want a decent amount of weight just to do this. And again, that's one where you could really, if you have more weight, you can get a lot more oomph. You kind of, you really get the heart rate going at very short reps. This basically just a nice dumbbell hinge pattern. Back is kind of just nice and straight. This time I'm throwing the hips back. I'm keeping the kettlebell very close to my body and not putting it too far out. If it was too far out, I would kind of, it'd be more of a reach, and my back would kind of lose that positioning. So it's a very simple hinge pattern. Work on squeezing the glutes as you're coming back up, and then retracting the shoulder blades on the way up. Now this is just the foundational kettlebell rack position. So this is a goblet squat. You're holding the kettlebell by the horns. You're keeping your elbows kind of tucked in, And this is just a very nice, comfortable position. So if this was, say 85-pound kettlebell, this would be the most efficient way to kind of hold it. So you're kind of grasping it by the horns, and you're, again, tucking your elbows in to relieve some of that stress from your shoulders. Again, I'm just trying to work a nice deep squat. This is great for people that are transitioning or wanting to learn some deep squat or just to squat with a kettlebell. Now this is a kettlebell clean. You can't see as much as I should be I'm not doing it as much, but you should grab more to the inside of the horn, whichever hand you're doing. So I should grab a little more to the right side of that horn to kind of flip it up. But I'm just using my legs that kind of get the initial inertia and movement up. I'm not trying to use my arms to snap that up. Just with any clean, you're going to use some arms, but I want to get that momentum going from the legs initially. And with this, you're trying to snap it around, so you're not trying to flip the kettlebell over. I'm trying to keep the kettlebell always pointing down, and that can be a little tricky at first. The other thing is where I get it is in that rack position. My wrist is right in the middle of my chest, so that makes a nice little pocket for the kettlebell. I'm not moving my elbow too far out. That way it would put unnecessary stress on my shoulder to support that weight. So that would be the rack position when you clean it. Now from that rack position, you could transition right into that exercise. I took a little break. I was just kind of being lazy today. And I'm just doing again, it's a shoulder press. So I'm keeping it from that rack position, then I kind of turn out and press overhead. Now some people, especially in that previous exercise, might have issues with that kettlebell rubbing or hurting their forearm. That's kind of normal. If you're not used to doing it and you pick it up again, I mean, it's going to bother you a little bit, but generally the more you do this, the less discomfort your body will pretty much get used to it. When you're making these presses, again, not everyone's going to have this, flexibility or mobility. You might not feel this right away. So maybe make a case where if anything bothers you, you can always sub out a smaller dumbbell or something and just do it that way if you're getting discomfort from the wrist or your hands. You certainly can wear, some people have like they'll put like sweatbands on their wrists to make kind of cushion their forearm a little bit. But like I said, eventually you kind of get over it. And for the minimal reps, it's not too big a deal. Then we do just this bent over, just a row. I used to call these like lawnmower rows, like to simulate it's kind of like pulling a lawnmower start, like you're bending over with your body. But whatever, it's a row, so it's just something else. You could do a lot more reps with everything chained together like this. Even though it's only 35 pounds, I mean, I think I got like 10 or 12, and I was like, all right, that's fine, that's enough. Again, this is just a nice movement workout. It's a workout to get just the blood flowing. It's a workout where if you don't know what to do, you want to do something that's pretty productive, keeps the range of motion going, this is a great workout to do that. So I'll keep hitting a couple more minor points before I kind of wrap this up here. But again, this is just that dumbbell swing. I'm hinging and I'm snapping with the hips. I am not, notice that the momentum is the bell being pulled away. That's from the momentum of me snapping my hips. I'm not, trying to do a frontal shoulder raise. You could finish up all the way to the top if you wanted to. I'm just thinking about, again, hinging. That bell gets really close to me. If that bell goes too far down, then you kind of have to reach and you feel some more like back strain. And again, you can see this is very easy for most people. If this is 35 pounds doing a deadlift like this, it might not be that hard to do a lot of these. But when all these things considered and you put them together, this is where like the magic of this workout, and I think the perfection of this workout really goes in. Certainly, there's some other little things I could have filled in with this, but like I said, this is just my opinion. If you were to put together the perfect sequence of exercises to, one, teach someone the fundamentals, or two, kind of dial these things down, but also three, kind of hits a little bit of everything in a really good, efficient, range of motion, this would be the workout. Granted, you're not doing like a lot of horizontal pushing like a chest press, so you don't really get that as much. But a whole nother video would be, if you had to pick one or the other, for most people, I would say, do a shoulder press versus a chest press anyways. So, and with anything in this one, you definitely could fill in some stuff. You could fill in some push-ups between this, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I will make a whole separate video on the kettlebells if you guys would like. I could talk about these for a while. I used to be, super into them. What's great about them is just their efficiency, their extreme low footprint, the functionality of what they do and what they accomplish. If you're not someone who's like really big into for lack of a better word, vanity. I try to say I'm not, but I think I'd be lying if people said they weren't working out because, muscle definition and stuff like that. If you didn't care too much about that, kettlebells are awesome. They're not the best for muscle hypertrophy or to kind of build lean muscle. You definitely will build muscle, but you really, in order to kind of do that, you have to target specific exercise and do a lot of reps and more volume. But otherwise, you definitely could, this could be your sole source of exercise of resistance training if you really wanted to. You might have to get a little strategic with the actual loads and things, but this is good for a lot of people. So I'll let this kind of run out, and that's it for this video. If you guys like the video, please subscribe and like the video. If there's anything specific you want to see with this or any kind of workout, just definitely let me know. I'd be happy to accommodate that. And as always, thanks for watching.